Hello, teacher. My name is Vivian Moreno. Here's my ID. In this video, I'm going to talk about the parts of a journal article. First, in the top at the top, you have here the journal article in which it was published. Well, the article. Here you find the topic. In this case, I chose an investigation of the difficulties faced by EFL undergraduates in speaking skills. Here you have the authors and some other information about the date of the publication of this journal article. The first thing we have is the abstract. In the abstract, you can see the main content of your journal article. Well, here is the first thing the reader sees. And of course, here it is important to very simplify and summarize the information of the content of our journal article. So the reader feel satisfied after reading the abstract, right? And the reader says and can identify the information they are going to find here. The keywords are the main words that are involves the journal article. Then we have here in the first part the introduction. What do we find in the introduction? Well, here, first thing, we know the introduction is very important because here we find the statements, right? The statements that involves the entire part of the investigation, right? For example, here you have the main information about the topic, some examples about the investigation process that were used, and some other basic information about the main topic. Here you can also find the reason why. The reason why this study research was carried out. Here you have the problem very well explained, right? And what we are going to find out during the reading of this journal article. Next, we have the methods. What do we find in the methods? Of course, here we find which method the researcher used in order to carry out this study. It can be either the qualitative or quantitative process, right? What else can we find here? The methods are usually written in past tense. Here you also have the people who participated in the study research. So you can see here you have the participants, very specific if they are male, females. If in this case, since the journal article is about education, you also find in the university or any school where the participants belong to. And you can also see how the groups were divided in order to carry out the research. What else? This is about the method. After that, we can find the results. So this was a research. This research was carried out with questions, opinion questions about what did the students think about speaking ability and their conversation skills. So here you can find the results from the quizzes they had to took, right? From the questionnaires that they had to answer. Here you have specifically the topic of each one of the questions, and here you can see also the results. The next part we can find here. So here you can also see the paragraphs explaining very well the numbers you can see here. So here you can find the explanation, the results, if the results were expected or not, and point by point they are being explained. Here you have some other data collected from the research, and the author is making an analysis according to the results from the quizzes. Finally, you have the conclusion, right? In the conclusion, we can see the summary of all the keys finding. So the struct, right? After doing the research, after having the participants interviews, after having the results, here we have the conclusion. So the researcher can make a relationship between the results, and of course in this case it was the speaking skill that was tested, how students did, how student performance was at the end of the quiz, of the investigation. Right, and finally here you have the references. The references are the resources the researcher had to use to develop the journal article in a proper way. As we know, it's important always to cite, always to have a reference list to avoid plagiarism. So as you can see, it's a very extensive list of references, right? And in this case, this journal article have these elements: the abstract, the introduction, the method, the results, and the conclusion. The majority of the journal articles follow the same structure, right? That would be all. Thank you very much for your attention.